Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dr. Johnson with Alterman and Johnson Family Chiropractors, and you've tuned into Q&A with Doctors A and J. And in line with the chiropractic lifestyle, we are wanting to bring resources to you of things that you can do in your current lives to help bring more balance to your body. And I would say support you in being adaptable to our current situation. So thank you for being here. And I'm talking to Heather Horrell with Grow Family Yoga and More. Hi, Heather. Thanks for being with us.
Hi.
So you have opened this wonderful facility not too long before all of this hit us. Tell us a little bit about your place and what led you to start this business.
Yes, thank you. So thank you for having me. Hi, everybody. I'm Heather. And so I opened, this is kind of a funny story. I opened last February, but it was in the same shopping center, but in a different spot. And I didn't stay in that spot for too terribly long. And in October, I moved into my current spot, which is a beautiful studio. I love it. I got to choose a lot of the things that are in here, and I've really made it feel like home. And prior to that, I was actually mobile. So I moved to the Jacksonville area, not into Jacksonville, but the area in 2015 from Virginia. And I would just go around all areas of Jacksonville, all the way from the beaches to south side, north side, and I would teach at different places. One of those was a pediatric office, another schools, and I still am actually in a lot of the schools. I would rent space, all those different things. And then finally, in the beginning of 2018, I found a spot, and I just thought it would make more sense to be more central, and I really liked the Riverside, Avondale area. And so I opened a studio here. What initially brought me was I did my yoga training in Virginia in 2013 while I was pregnant with my fifth and getting my master's in education. And at the very end of my master's journey, I decided that I didn't want to be in the public school system. Not that I have anything against it, I just knew that that wasn't the path I wanted to take. And I just want to reiterate, I love public school teachers. You guys are amazing. The reason I chose not to do it is I cannot do that. That's not what I could do. So I was like, how can I use my skills and my education in a way that was more more something I could do, right? And so from the very beginning of taking that yoga training, I knew that I wanted to work with people during pregnancy, young families, that yoga is, so popular with your adults, but kids and young families can really benefit from the stress reduction techniques, from learning how to breathe, from learning how to regulate emotions, and it could really help the family bond and grow up with happy memories. So that's kind of where it was born.
Well, so I love the energy of everything that you just said. And I was thinking the same thing, that most people hear yoga and they think adults, largely women. So prenatal yoga is something that's becoming more and more familiar. But yoga with kids and for families, I think that's really unique. And what a gift for families to have that practice and just everything that comes with the yoga practice to implement into their daily lives.
Yeah, and it can be little snippets too. I think one of my favorite things about teaching family yoga and kids yoga is that it's not going to look like your 60 or 75-minute class where everybody's just on their mats doing poses or asanas, as we call it. It's more about a lifestyle and learning how to get through difficult moments in these little micro minutes of those difficulties, which is this.
Okay, and you're going to share one of those little micro minutes with us now so parents can do this with their children at home. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question I get the most is if you're teaching meditation, how the heck does that work? How can you get a child to sit still? And the first thing I say is, for one, it's okay if they do not sit still. You need to be moving, that's fine. However, we're going to give them exactly what they're going to do during the meditation. And a lot of times, most of the time actually, kids think it's so cool to sit up tall, crisscross applesauce, and get their hands. They've seen it on TV. I think even Zootopia, that movie, the Disney movie, they have one of the characters meditating. And so these kids know it, and they just want to mimic it. So go with that. Go with the fact that there's a Disney character meditating. So you're going to have them sit crisscross applesauce, nice and tall. we tell them to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we have our children tap their fingers and say, peace begins with me. And we just repeat that. Peace begins with me. And then you tell them, now let's whisper that together. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. And then you tell them to do it in their own mind and that you're watching them and you want to see if they can be as still and quiet as a statue and that you're watching really closely. And then you model it. And you might open your eye and you'll see that they're moving or looking at you. You just close your eyes again and you keep modeling for them what you want them to do. But a lot of times you might open your eyes and see that they're continuing to do it. Children find it might be hard to begin, but once they start, they notice, and you'll ask them afterwards, how do you feel? And I have never, ever had a child, and I've taught thousands of kids now, who will say to me, I don't feel any different. Most of the time they'll say to me, I feel so peaceful now. And then I give them some homework, and I ask them to only meditate on the days that they brush their teeth. And of course, that's, every day. So, and you just make it really fun, really interactive. And as you saw, I told them what to do. And so as a parent, if you can just find a minute, maybe right before bedtime, or right when you wake up, whatever you prefer, maybe you're more of an early morning person, you don't have to sit on a yoga mat. It's okay. You can sit on your couch. You can sit at the kitchen table. You just sit down and you start doing that with them. And that's it. It's not that hard, and it seems hard, but it's really not.
So simple, but profoundly beneficial. And
yes.
And the parents are going to be doing this with the children, and the parents are going to benefit just as much as the children. And absolutely. I was thinking too that, there are a lot of stressed out families right now. So the parents can use this as a tool for themselves when they're sort of at that breaking point and everybody's bouncing off the walls. Parents.
Absolutely.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
So I train people too. I go across the U.S. and I mean, prior to this, but I train people to be kids yoga teachers. And one of the things I tell my trainees is that this is just as much for the parents as it is the kids. Most of my generation did not grow up learning how to meditate. We thought it was a very esoteric practice that was inaccessible to us. But then when you find that you could just sit, if you want to say something over and over or listen to a song or whatever it is, that it really can be simple. It does not have to be an hour long. It can just be these little moments. And it is, like you said, really important, especially now because we have parents who have been thrust into schooling and working and they can't, there's no outlet, and that can be really challenging and really difficult right now. I mean, at my own house, it's
Yep.
So yeah.
So thank you so much, Heather. That was really beautiful. And I can see a lot of parents picking that up and using it. Before we close, just tell us how people can find you. And so you are offering virtual classes now.
Correct. So, we closed the studio about a week before any mandates were made. I felt like it was the right thing to do. But I knew that would be really difficult as well. So something I've been meaning to do for the last 2 years and just have been putting it off. And then finally this happens. And I think if I learned anything, it was that, sometimes life's unexpected moments kick your butt into gear. We started offering online classes. So you can find those online classes on our Facebook page and also on our website. It'll lead you right to it. But you can also go directly through Patreon. I don't know if I can maybe email you the link. And it does help us stay afloat during this time because our operational expenses are still there.
Yeah. So we'll post all of those links along with this little snippet. So
okay.
Everybody will be able to find you and take advantage of the resources that you offer.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Heather, for doing what you do and bringing forth what you do and for sharing this with us today.
Same to you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.